Welcome in to the Spalding Brothers Show. We are the #1 Spalding show on YouTube and maybe podcast. Not sure. Pretty sure on YouTube though. So I'm your host, Wyatt Spalding, with my twin brother, Weston Spalding. And today we're going to start off with Weston because he has a bunch of shit that he wants to talk about. And some of it's pretty crazy, course, pretty normal to me though, and kind of about what he's realized about his journey of his career and finding a job, getting a job, keeping a job, what all that entails, which we all can relate to in some way. So, Wes, take it away.
Yeah, so first off, I'd like to point out that uh it's 6 a.m. on a Sunday. We finally figured out how to get these in. It's got to be like early before any of us are doing anything. If you're
Yeah,
watching this on YouTube, why it's in like this in our sister's house. They're up there in Minnesota visiting them, and he's basically being blinded by the sun right now. If you're not watching it, so
that's why I got
we're
it.
finding a way. We're finding a way to be consistent finally with these podcasts.
He's
We're only
actually,
two. I guess you got to, I feel like you got to get three in a row to say you're consistent with anything. But, we got one more week to say that.
yeah, I like doing it in the morning or late at night. The afternoon's
It's
always,
when you're, it's when things are going. I feel like if we didn't want it late at night, we'd watch it the next day and be like, dude, what were we talking about? Like, we're just sleep deprived.
I mean, I'm not. I like working at night. Sometimes I like won't work during the middle of the day and I'll work at night.
You're
So.
just like so wired.
Yeah, I just think about the best stuff. It's like 7 o'clock or after. It's like I
Yeah.
just think about that. And yeah, I just always like sometimes like 9 o'clock, I'll get stuff done, especially like podcasting, like the
Mm.
download stuff and the right descriptions of the podcast. It's like 9 o'clock to 11. I get the shit done. So
Uh, yeah, I remember, especially when you would be put on a steroid because you were so sick, you'd
yeah.
text me even when we were in college, like between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., you would text me like, dude, just came up with this great part of a speech. And I'm just like, dang, man, that was pretty good. Like you're just wheels are turning then.
Yeah. It was
I feel
like,
like if you can get past like 9 p.m. and not feel exhausted, that's like the switch over. 8 or 9 p.m.
yeah, pretty
That's,
much. Which is
yeah.
also kind of bad because I like to get up early. But I'll
Mhm.
sleep into like 8:39 sometimes. Nine,
Yeah.
but still, it's not always the best. I think once or twice a week's fine, but not every day.
Feel I feel like between 9 p.m. and like 1 or 2 a.m., if you are like locked in, you can get so much done.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
can for sure. Or like if you get up at 6 and start at like 6:30 or 7, then it's like you can definitely get things done then.
Yeah.
It's like a
Mine's
nice.
like I used to be able to do like 4 a.m. to 10, but now yeah, it's more like 6 or 7 a.m. to like 12 or 1 p.m. is when I can really get a lot done if I have the data. Work more on like creative or making meal plans, workout plans, whatever. So
Yeah, real quick. I like to work in the morning and then not do anything in the afternoon unless it's a workout and just kind of chill if I'm at home and get all my work stuff done. And then like start again maybe at 4. So it's just like in our offices close at like 4:30. I like to do it when like no one's really kind of working for some reason.
dude, is that just I feel the same way. I have to like really push myself mentally to work from well, as long as I don't stop working, but like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. to whatever, 5 p.m. Like if you have to restart in the afternoon, I feel like it's so hard. Yeah, I'd rather work in the morning or at night, but like that doesn't really work for my life schedule. Like is working
Yeah.
at night. So
Yeah, I mean with me it's like I don't have anybody to think about. So it's just like I can do whatever I want.
just
And
get it done.
yeah, I mean hopefully the life changes like that. It's different in the
Yeah.
future, but like I still think I could work at night. Like say if you had a family and you just do it at 10 o'clock because then all the kids go to bed or stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, um, I definitely like doing it in the morning. because I've always done better in the morning. I remember like in eighth grade, so math was my last subject of the day, and they even asked me if I wanted to switch. So you're like on teams, A team, B team, C team to uh, switch out the kids, and so not all kids are having the same teachers. And so they asked me to go to like I think I was on B, and like you can go to the C team, and so you have math in the morning because I always did better in the morning. And so
Yeah,
I didn't though because my one of my friends were in the other class, and I did okay. I did fine, but
dude,
yeah,
you're preaching to the choir. Audrey tells me the schedule. So I guess t elementary school teachers just somebody gives them their schedule. Like I get it with electives like art, PE, you have to abide by that.
mhm,
But then they're like, you should be doing this at this time, this at this time. And I'm like, that's the dumbest thing ever because one, that teacher is going to get to know the kids. So they're going to know when those kids are going to do best in which subjects.
yeah,
And like, so they put math in the afternoon. I'm like, who wants to do math in the afternoon? That's like the worst time to do it. You're fried. Your brain has to be fried.
and it's always like after lunch. I remember in elementary
Yeah.
school, it's like everyone's tired after lunch.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
do like creative stuff in the afternoon.
yeah,
Get
draw.
all the hard shit done with. Get math, get science, get reading, get I think writing you could do in the afternoon. I think I would say reading, but I feel like you just fall asleep.
We that's the thing is we I don't remember I don't know if you remember, but at our elementary school we did do reading in the morning. And like I remember doing reading in the morning, but math was never in the morning because they had to fall in line with like science and history and English. So at all four had to be in the afternoon, which was stupid.
Yeah.
And PE in the morning, which that's good either way. You could do it in the morning, like PE in the morning, but you should just do it in the afternoon. If you really want to time out,
Should do
you could do
should do
lunch.
twice. I mean twice.
Well, here's what you do. You do lunch, recess, and then PE. Just keep them going.
Yeah, just get them moving.
Yeah. So, um,
Dude, I can't remember where it's at. I think it's a different country, or maybe it's just a different school. I don't know. There's some school they give the kids and the teachers an hour lunch and an hour recess. So it's a 2 hour break for teachers.
that's nice.
Yeah. And for the kids. It's like now it's like they rush them in, you get 30 minutes. They probably have 22 minutes, 23 to eat their lunch. So we just teach people to slam food, which is just, I mean, that's why everybody's freaking overweight because everybody, we don't like eat our food slow. We just slam it. And I'm so guilty of that.
Yeah.
Uh, and then you go outside, they let them run for like 15, 20 minutes. And then it's like, all right, you gotta go back inside. Like 15, 20 minutes is better than nothing. But think of like kids had an hour. You would you have any problems in the afternoon? You probably would have like kids getting fights and stuff, but it's like,
They
that's what,
probably maybe a kid sleeping, they're tired, but that's about it. Like,
yeah. But
not that
like,
hard to wake. It's not that hard to wake a kid up.
I feel
So
like if kids sleeping, it's because they're not sleeping at home. Because
that's,
usually like physical activity is gonna wake you up,
I
unless
would
you're
always,
just going till complete exhaustion.
I guess I would always put my head down after because a teacher would read for like 20 minutes to us. So I
Yeah,
put my head down and stuff. I was always tired after recess.
yeah.
So
You also were probably exerting 10 times more energy just to keep up.
that's true. I hated when we had recess and it was cold out. It was like, damn it, can we just stay inside?
Yeah.
Uh, but so
All
West,
right. Getting back on track.
yeah, get to
And
your,
track
I'll introduce it. So you're gonna run a marathon, is that right?
half marathon.
Half
Half.
marathon? That's what I thought.
Yep.
Yeah, so didn't you want one? You ran one like a full marathon before, right?
Yep, first marathon was Leadville 100. Would not recommend that. I didn't even run that thing. I hiked 70% of that. That's
Oh,
the highest altitude marathon, or no, it's the marathon that starts at the highest altitude. There's like other ones that get up higher, but this one starts at the highest. It's in Colorado. It's in Leadville, Colorado. Dude, it was pretty cool. Like all these people are there and everybody's just like running together. And I remember there was this guy next to me. He had to be like 6'4", 220, just freaking jacked.
Yeah.
And him and me, like we would pass each other. Like I'd pass him, he'd pass me. I'd pass him, he'd pass me. And for that race, I didn't really train climbing, so I didn't train like running uphill. So I just had to like hike a lot of that. Dude, that was so hard. And it was July. No, it was August, but it was snowing up there.
Yeah.
So
You had a winter coat on in the picture.
yeah. Well, I didn't think about it snowing. So
Uh-huh.
I brought stuff for it to be cold, but I didn't bring anything for like to like get the snow and or rain off of me. So we
Yeah.
had to buy like me a rain jacket there. And I got tennis elbow because I was gripping my fists so hard during the whole race. Like I was like, oh my gosh, my elbows hurt so bad after the race. I was like, oh yeah, because you were death gripping the whole time because it was so cold. And I was just in like such a bad mood for most of that race in the last 3 miles, all downhill. And I'm for an average runner, I was good at running downhill, so I just like sprinted to the last three. And that was like the only time I got a runner's high the whole race. But it was cool. It was a good feeling. I did it with some of my friends. It was really cool to see some of my friends like finish it because um, it was just like a big goal for them too. And
Yeah.
that was almost more fun is watching them finish and hear about their finishes. So, but
Nice.
anyways, I live in Denver or Broomfield outside of Denver, and Boulder is north. Can't do my directions. Northwest of Broomfield,
Mhm.
and I guess they have like one of the best 5Ks and one of the best marathons in the US. It's like number one 5K or number five 5K in the United States. Um, top 10. They said like number 10, like marathon. So I'm guessing the views are pretty cool and it's ran pretty well. Like Boulder is, people go to Boulder to get better at running or cycling. It's a lot of cardio athletes, from my understanding. So found it, needed something to like train for. I like to run because it like clears my mind, gives me clarity.
Mhm.
I haven't ran in a while, and I'm gonna try to. I just made a program yesterday, so I'm gonna try to do 3 days of lifting, one day where I have like freedom. I can do like basketball or tennis or golf or do something recreational,
Yeah.
and then one rest day at least. But kind of have like things planned out. I feel like I've been running for a long time, so I'm not worried about it. Like a half marathon, I know I can do. Full marathon's a different story. It's like you
Yeah.
start cramping up and stuff. So, but but yeah, and then I was just kind of like, dang, like whenever I start a goal, maybe it's like from growing up being a twin, but you're like, oh, I want to make it a group thing. So with my app, I'm doing a step timber challenge
Okay.
in September. So just like a step challenge for the month, maybe help some people get back on track with their goals, maybe helps people continue their goals from the summer. Sometimes people have goals in summer, but it's like June, July are crazy. August, I feel like a lot of people are trying to get back in routine with school starting and things slowing down. And September, I feel like would just be a good month. Hey, let's get outside, move a little bit. It's the fall, it's going to be not as hot. I don't know. In Nebraska, it's usually scorching still in September,
Yeah.
but or it could be snowing, who knows?
Well, yeah, it was like 75 here, but really humid, or not
Yeah.
humid, but in Nebraska. And it was weird because I'd played tennis, but it was like extremely humid. But I was like, it's gonna be like 95 one day in September, maybe for a week.
Yeah.
It's technically still summer, so
Hmm.
I mean, so like with your training, do you look up like specific lifts then for running a marathon, or what do you do for that?
I'm just gonna do overall strength. So I'm just doing basic. I'll do like 3 to 5 sets. I always kind of feel it out. Usually I'll do five, but I'm just gonna do squats, bench, deadlift, incline bench, pull-ups, reverse lunges, and just like biceps, triceps, shoulder stuff. I just keep it simple. Uh, I have a problem with uh, paralysis analysis. So it's like, so much. I know so much about fitness and I've looked at so many programs and listened to so many people, bodybuilders, sports specific, CrossFit. Dude, even like I've looked into yoga and Pilates and calisthenics, so just body weight stuff and sprint. And so he's like, you have all my head is just like circling, like, oh, we could do this. I'm like, all right, well, like what's the meat and potatoes? What's the big rocks? It's like, well, just make sure my legs are strong and I'll come up with a warm up to kind of attack little tiny muscles that you want to strengthen when you run. So muscle, it's called your anterior tib. You want to make sure that's strong. It's like your shin because like I'll be running a lot, so my foot will be hitting the ground a lot. That muscle needs to be strong. I'm gonna try to figure out how to strengthen my feet a little better because if I want to run and still like kind of play basketball or tennis here and there, like that's gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
on my feet. So I need to strengthen my feet a little bit. And then obviously core could be way better all the time. I got areas in my core that are weak.
Mm.
And then yeah, I mean even people don't think about for running, but you want your back to be strong because like if you're like hunched over, it's all on your back. But if you can like pull your chest up, um, have that core strength, just the trunk strength in general, that would help. But yeah. And then, I want to do this step timber challenge to kind of let people just do it, I guess, with me if they want. Um, doing like $50 Lululemon like gift card for the winner. I'm gonna have like 3 ways to win. If you just participate, you get in a raffle for like some Starbucks gift cards. If you win the step challenge, do the most steps throughout the whole month, Lululemon gift card, and then doing a miles one. So if you run the most miles in September, then you get a $50 Dick's Sporting Goods gift card. So kind of give a little like motivation and with my app, I'm trying to revamp it to help more people, let people get in there for free, check it out, see if they like it, do a little step challenge. They just want to do that and get out. That's great. They want to stay for what's coming in October, November, and December, then that'd be cool too. But yeah, it's really just kind of helping people stay fit, help people stay healthy, and you know, I'd rather instead of like doing an ad, like putting out an ad and then I'm trying to figure out if it's working. It's like I'd rather just help people that I already know or that kind of know me, and then hey, like here's $50 Lululemon.
There
You
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 go.
crush the steps. There you go. Go get something cool.
So, like for the mile, for the running part, is it
Mhm.
like you have to just go run, or like, does it count if you go play a recreational sport, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'll probably have to make it just
Just running.
run.
Yeah.
Yep. So what I'm gonna do is through Everfit app, I can connect Apple Health, and then you can sync that. But sometimes that doesn't sync the best,
Hmm.
and you always gotta have your phone on you. So then that'll be one option. I think you can connect an Apple Watch to it too, but I got like a basic pen and paper sheet. Write down your steps, write down your miles, and then just track it like on your Apple Watch or I'll show people how to use the Under Armour app. That's what I use when for running because I don't have like a Garmin or an Apple Watch. So that way you can track your routes and your miles. And I'm just gonna be like, hey, write it down, send it to me. If you win, I'm gonna obviously need proof of all, like maybe not all the days, but you
Yeah.
gotta show me proof. Like, hey, I'm
Right.
gonna, just scroll through and show me that you did it. Because you just don't want some asshole just who you hardly know hops in and steals a gift card, doesn't do shit. So
Yeah.
gotta have some proof
Sure.
somewhere. And then yeah, like the gift card's like, hey, if you just show up, participate, if you walk for 3 days, names in a raffle, boom, you might get like $15 Starbucks, get some free coffee. So
Nice. Nice.
yeah. But yeah, I'm good at doing groups. It's my jam. So I
Nice.
gotta like especially adult fitness, probably because I just did so much CrossFit and
Yeah.
we did a lot of events with that and just kind of getting back to that and um hope to do like something here in Colorado where it's in person. I've had some ideas, but you know me, I got a lot of ideas and I gotta
You gotta,
decide which ones
yeah, you
to
gotta
put
pick
on
one.
the back burner a lot of times.
Yeah, you definitely gotta pick one and just stick with it and then go with finish it and then go on the next idea.
Yeah. So the September one is my idea for right now, along with the half marathon. So,
Nice.
but yeah, man, how's moving out? I
Over
know we
here.
talked about it last
I've,
time a little bit.
like packed anything. But mom and dad are like, you don't really need to. Because it's like I only have like 3 rooms, maybe four.
Yeah.
Uh, like three and a half. And then uh yeah, I just filling out all the paperwork, calling the places so I can get internet, electric. It's all electric there, so we don't need gas. So that's nice. But the electric bill will be high. And so just kind of doing that. Had some changes at work that were kind of big, just of like what I'm gonna do, who I'm gonna report to. So that was kind of big and out of nowhere, but it was good. Like I like the people I work with a lot, and I really like my job. So it wasn't like I was mad about it, just like different. But
Yeah.
like new ideas coming in the future. So I do like more athlete leadership, which is good. It's actually what it says in my contract. Like the first thing is like athlete leadership. So like yeah,
Nice.
kind of nice if I would do more of this. I just have to like find ideas of what I can do to get athletes more involved, like Special Olympic athletes for those that don't know what I do. So people with disabilities. So like I mean, it's our like we play the sports, and my bosses or the vice president said like like we play them, so it's like our league, but we should also help with our league outside of playing more, which I agree with. And so it's like maybe like I'd teach athletes, or I'd do it too and figure out how to do it. Like put on events and stuff, so it's not just the Sony, the special
Yeah.
Nebraska people that are doing it. And so I think that would be good because like if you play in a league, like let's say you play in a rec league, it's like you kind of help out, or there's people that play in the rec leagues that still help make the schedules or put on events, or I don't know. Sometimes when you play, it's like you also have to do the grunt work outside of the event so you can put it on. So I think myself and other athletes, if we learn how to do some of that and help like in our regions. So like for those of you that are in Nebraska, so like there's the region from Lincoln to like Kearney, and then there's Omaha, Fremont. It's like I can't remember. I definitely will have this wrong maybe, but like Lincoln and Omaha are different regions. And so
Okay.
I can't remember where Fremont falls. I'm pretty sure it's a different region,
Mm.
but I'm not, they might connect to Omaha, but I'm not sure. Don't. And
Trying
then,
to think who they would connect to.
well, yeah, we would because we had basketball this year. They played with the Omaha team, so it's got to be like with Omaha.
Okay.
It's also different because like it's like the NSAA or whatever. So we do high school sports as well, but that's also kind of separate from just your recreational special. Like so, there's recreational, like what you would play in as an adult, which has always been there, and then now there's unified schools, and you do stuff through the school system, and then through like the intramural college system. So that's kind of separate, but everyone can play in state, like the recreational state that happens every year. I don't know. Sometimes I get confused by it. It's like, why aren't we all just one thing? But
Yeah.
it's good too. I think it's good to run stuff through schools because it's a little easier to run
Yeah.
thing through a school than it would be like what we do at my job, and we're the ones putting it on. That's our job, is to like it's like the park and recreation center. That's what I would put it as, is what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
It's
But
kind of like club teams. Like
yeah,
Special Olympics started first, but yeah, it was like club teams outside of
yeah,
school. And then all of a sudden, maybe what, like 5 years ago, schools finally
yeah.
started doing unified
20,
teams.
I'm gonna say like I don't be wrong. But I'm gonna say like I think UNL, from the University of Nebraska, intramural unified league started in 2019. I think my friend said.
Mm,
So it'd be like around there. I don't know the exact time, but right around when you were done with college.
yeah.
It just missed it. It was like 4 years of us being college age, and then they started doing that. So
What? So your athlete leadership, right?
yeah, yep.
And you said you got to come up with ideas on how to get more athletes involved.
Yeah, like just with their regional directors. And so like I might put together like I might create another athlete leadership thing for like people that have been on. It's called ALC, so Athlete Leadership Council. So you try to get new members, and it's like any board. You have a term, you get off, get new people. I'm on it still. Like I won't be on it as an athlete once we get more or new members, but I would be like the representative of Special Olympics Nebraska, along with someone else that I work with that helps run the meetings and talks to the president, the vice president, and the secretary or treasurer. So
Nice.
not
So
treasurer.
you're trying to get more athletes on that board.
Yeah, so we can the people I'm with, we can move out and do other stuff. 'Cause we've been
Yeah.
on since like 2019,
Yeah.
and which is good, but then the COVID thing, so they gave us another year.
Yeah.
So
You got a COVID year. Nice.
yeah, we didn't really do much. I actually did like speaking, but
You guys like all Special Olympics, everybody's got medical issues. You're like, well, can't really do any events. So
yeah, we did some gaming events, which was smart. I thought that was pretty smart to do. Then
yeah.
like they had some Zoom stuff, so that was good. And then like to like speak, they called it like reveal the champion. And I think they still do it, but more in person now. So like I would just get on a Zoom call and share my story for like 5 minutes in a word. I mean, so yeah, they had some good ideas and definitely had to be creative. So, but then like there are sports like track, like you could do track because all you had to do is put in your times and you can still compete with everyone around the state.
Yeah, it's true.
So like track, bowling, I don't
Golf.
golf. I don't know if golf. I don't think golf came back first. There was a third sport. Oh, I think it was bocce, maybe.
How
I'm
do you
not.
play bocce
No,
online?
it wasn't bocce. I can't remember the third sport. I want to say swimming, but I don't. I don't think that was it. I just
You
remember.
could do that though, put in your time.
Yeah,
What
but
else could you
because of
do?
like the whole like not being close to each other, the 6 feet apart. I don't know. I have no idea. I
Oh
can't
yeah.
remember the third sport, but I remember track and bowling were two. And so, because I did track, and but didn't get to compete because then I got sick. But yeah, so just trying to get more athletes on there, trying to figure out like how I'll be more involved in just athlete leadership overall, which I like because then you can communicate more with the athletes and talk to people. I
Yeah.
I want to help like get more involved in like this isn't part of like this not in my job title, but I think I'd be good at it. Like help finding companies to partner with or just like fundraising because I like talking to people and
Yeah.
and sometimes like it's better just to talk to someone one on one just to give a speech to a bunch of people. So it's kind of like recruiting, like you're recruiting people to like let them know what Special Olympics is, if they would want to partner with us, what the benefits are of them partnering with us, because they got to get something out of it too. And I don't know much about it, so I have like a meeting in like 2 weeks about talking to them how I would do it. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, just kind of like new stuff at work, trying to find out um what will my I mean I know what my role is, but what I will do now that I have a different supervisor right now, but then I'll get a new one because we'll hire somebody. So yeah, just I've kind of like been through this before, but it's no problem. I like everyone I work with, so I have no problem working with anybody in my job, and that's a great thing about Special Olympics. A lot of people, we just all work together. And we do like this goal. We did this goal thing at work. Like, you remember that test you take and you find out your 5 strengths? And
Oh
then,
yeah, strengths finders.
yeah. And so we have that. And so they gave us the whole list of like 1 through 30 or something like that of your strengths. And it's kind of cool to find out what people's strengths are, where you are in that strength. Sometimes you're like, wow, I can't believe that strength is like really low for you because you would think that'd be very high for someone. So I remember my first one was like responsibility. That was my
Nice.
first one. Belief was number two, which I thought would be number one. I can't remember the other ones, but those were my top two.
What was your dead last one?
Oh, I don't remember.
Ah, dude, I always like to look up the one I was dead
I
last
like
in.
had a problem. I think I have it now, but I had a problem like getting it because I was an intern and I'd taken it on the athlete leadership council. We took it like way back when we started, and I was
Yeah.
an employee of Special Olympics Nebraska then. So it was like a system thing and just trying to get in. So, but yeah, it would be interesting to see. I gotta look it up. On one of our
I
next
took
episodes, I'll try to figure it out and then see if
yeah.
I can see all 30. But yeah, um uh yeah, just kind of doing that. And then yeah, man, just kind of moving and stuff. That's kind of what I'm doing. My it will be more interesting when I actually move and I can come on here and tell you how it's gone because it will be a struggle. I gotta find stuff. Like I'm trying to find like workout stuff because we got like an unfinished basement, but we can use it as a workout area. So I gotta
Yeah.
find that. But yeah, just kind of doing that. But yeah. So that's kind of my stuff. If I have anything more interesting, I'll come back to it. But I know you wanted to talk about some things too, like
Well, I got
how's
a question for you.
all right.
So your job, basically, Special Olympics, is to advocate for to get more athletes and get people more involved in Special Olympics, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know. Like I guess my question is, how do you think a lot of people with disabilities don't do Special Olympics?
No, I don't know the numbers exactly, but I'd say I would guess a good majority of them would do it. But we do, there's like a couple of them like we need to reach this population so we can get more athletes to do it because they may not know. Um,
Mm,
they may not know like about Special Olympics or what we do.
yeah,
And I think too, it all depends on your home life too.
yeah.
Year round, will they promote it? Will they like hear about them and want their son or
Can
daughter?
they get there?
Yeah, can they get there to do it?
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe people don't. They think it's just like I say like we're like a Parks and Rec, and we are kind of, but like at a more serious level because athletes train. I mean, it's called Special Olympics, so there's the Olympic part in it. You train like an Olympic athlete. It's the really high competitive ones do, and you train for your sports year round. Then there's every 4 years there's USA games for one summer, and then the next summer there's World Games. Like I'm going to World Games to be a global messenger, a sergeant driver, global messenger, which is one of 10 athletes around the world get selected for that. And
Hmm.
represent Special Olympics at the World Games, not to compete, but like to help promote Special Olympics and just help with the games. I don't really know yet because I haven't gone. But yeah, so I'm doing that in Italy in March of 2025, and there's a Nebraska athlete that is going there for snowshoeing, I want to say.
Oh crap.
Yeah. And
That's crazy.
they do it, they compete in Missouri. We don't have enough athletes to really compete here. And so,
Wow.
yeah, so there's like 15 athletes, and she's gone. She went to the last World Games. So now she'll go to this one. So that'd be cool. That's cool. She's been to like two USA games and then two World Games after this one. So it's a big deal to go to that. And then that's the winter one. And then there's a summer one. And summer, whether it's USA games or World, like what I've been told is summer is always just bigger. I mean, if you look at the Olympics that just came on,
Hmm.
the Summer Olympics is always bigger than the Winter Olympics, just
Yeah.
sports. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's still cool to go to both. And I'll go to Italy in 20 March of 2025 and then go to Chile in the summer. I don't know a month, but the summer of 2027. So doing that. And yeah, just like competing wise, like do you want your athlete to compete and find sports? Maybe some athletes don't like sports. I've heard of athletes that they never liked sports until they joined Special Olympics. And that wasn't
Yeah.
because they wanted to play sports, it was just like being included and the social aspect of it. And
Yeah. Don't you feel like there's a sport for everyone though? Like everyone's
yeah, because
got
like
at
if you
least
don't,
one sport that you could
yeah,
find that you like.
if you don't want to like run a lot, you could play bocce, bowling. I know I don't know what games we'll be involved in yet, fall or summer or another time of year, but we're doing like cornhole. That's going to be a thing. That's going to be huge.
All
Like,
I'm hearing is great sports that are drinking games.
Yeah,
I'm
you can't
sick.
drink at these, but yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, you can. We have, well, we don't have, but I've seen like different states that done
Yeah.
because of where you live. Like, Minnesota, I think they have skiing and probably snowshoeing because there's a bunch of snow here. So snow sports. I follow the Florida special account. They have like surfing. So
Oh, that'd be awesome.
yeah, that would be cool to do surfing. Obviously, you
I
can't
would
get.
love to be a unified partner for surfing. Yeah.
No,
Also, if
no.
you're not a Special Olympian and you just want to learn how to play a sport for free, then just go be unified partner.
Yeah,
Special Olympics.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, because yeah, like it's just a sport for everybody, but it also like helps you to be competitive, and if you're overly competitive, like us, like we were,
Mhm.
how to like tone it down, and then like too, like
But also how to tone it up. Like
exactly, like
we played some
you
high
still have to
divisions.
win.
I'm trying my hardest.
Yeah,
Like there've been Special Olympic athletes who have been more athletic than me, and I'm like, I literally have to try to stop this guy, otherwise we're gonna get demolished. And
yeah,
like, I've been bodied by some Special Olympians. They like get a rebound over me, or I don't think you were there. I think you got sick, and I had to go still play flag football.
yeah, that was sick. Yeah,
And I remember there was a Special Olympian that was so athletic, like he was so fast, and he was taller than me. I had to play like safety, and we were like going up after balls together. It was a lot of fun, and it was really competitive. But then, like we also toned down. You know, you and me have been on teams where, I've toned it back just so you just don't want to look like a dick when you're a unified partner and just
yeah,
score all the points or, you know, just basically like bully another athlete because of their disability and where they're at. So like that pissed me off when we'd play against unified partners who were like clueless to that. The funniest part though was when remember that blue basketball team we played and that point guard who was a unified partner, but he was so bad that I didn't know that he was a unified partner
isn't
until
the
somebody
game?
said something.
Yeah, isn't the game like
He tried to score all the points too, and then I got pissed. I was like, dude, pass the
yeah,
ball. Like,
yeah, is that
get
the
your
game where
athletes
you use like
open.
an outdoor ball? Remember like one?
Maybe.
That might
It
have
was a
been the
close
game.
game. I remember we barely won.
Yeah. There was a game they gave us like this ratty outdoor ball. I was like, why are we playing with this? Like,
That might have been it, yeah.
yeah. So, and usually like uh a lot of games you get a good basketball, but it's just like, why would you bring this like to this
Yeah.
tournament? Like, this is like a door. You can definitely tell it's been used outdoors, but yeah, I remember that. And then like it's also hard because it's like you want the unified player to play as a team with you, but not take over. Like basketball's so easy to take over for anybody if
Dude.
you're good.
But
But
isn't it like they can only score 1/3 of the points?
yeah, it just depends how much the athletes score. And
Yeah,
but
but nobody says anything when that happens.
yeah, it's hard because it's like the delegation, the Special Olympics Nebraska, like they can't be everywhere, you know, and they can't be everywhere and keep track
But
of
it's
all
like
the
it should
scores.
be if your unified players score
Yeah,
more than 1/3 of the points, like that's a loss. It's
yeah, they should be,
disqualified.
or like if they score again, that doesn't even count. Like they don't even put it on the scoreboard.
Oh,
So
I like that better. I like that
yeah,
better.
so like
Like they reach a certain or like a point limit, you
yeah.
know?
The hard thing is too is like it's not like high school sports, which I would like Special Olympics to kind of people see it as more like a high school league because we're competitive and stuff. But like we get volunteers, and so it's not like they are working for Special Olympics every day. So you would have, I mean, you'd have to come up with some rules or something like here's a card of all the rules. Like if you're keeping book because they keep book at our basketball games, and you realize like a unified player has scored this many points, like a third of the points, and then whatever they score next doesn't count. Something like
Yeah.
that. So it'd be like that, or
Dude,
like
what if the rules were our rules? Remember our rules where I got it was like if you were in the paint, I got unlimited blocks.
oh yeah, it's a lot of rules when we played 1-on-1. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like if I was in the paint, you got unlimited blocks. Didn't matter if I was outside the paint. You only got 3 blocks a game, and then you got 3 steals. You got 1 layup, and was that it?
I only
Oh
got 3 dribbles.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the dribble part.
That was a little extreme. Not saying you should put that in a game, but like we play on a half court. So
Yeah, but you
we
got
played out of the net. So I would grab the ball, take one huge dribble outside 3-point line, and then have two dribbles to score.
yeah. I think you
Yeah.
had that later because we didn't have that right away, I thought.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
I think
But
you
yeah,
did.
like
I don't think you told me, or maybe you just came out with it because you got better in high school. So it's like we did that. But it's also like you don't want to have too many rules because you want the
yeah,
unified
you want
player
it to
to
be like
see it's like you have to
free.
play as a team. Because sometimes what I've learned through my job is like we sometimes did not play, right? Because like you would never score
Yeah.
ever. And so like you want the unified players to score every now and then. But
Hmm.
then also it's like they can be a dick and take over, but then also they can be like too nice. And it's like, oh, just go score all the points. Why? It's like that's fun. That's really hard to do because in my intramural league, sometimes that happens. It's like we need to play as a team, and we have more unified players right now than we do athletes in. So some of the unified players have to score, and I'd be better than some of the unified players. But still, it's like we're
All
trying
right.
to play as a team. So that's how
Listen to
I
this.
feel.
Listen to these rules. Three rules. I think it's three. Let me talk this out a little bit. All
Okay.
right. So your unified player, you can't do back to back. You can't score back to back baskets, one-on-one moves.
Oh yeah, that's
So
good.
you can't like come down, dribble, score, come down, dribble, score. You can't do back to back. It's got to be you score, somebody else scores. But you get unlimited points if you are giving an athlete an assist. So let's say you just keep feeding me, you keep driving, kicking in 3-point line, you pass me, boom, I make it. Or fast break, you pass me, I make it. Like, because if I don't score there, then I'm taking away a stat from an athlete.
Yeah,
And like that's on the other unified player who's guarding me to stop me then.
yeah,
Or steal the ball, like make you make a good pass. So you get unlimited points if you're giving an assist to an athlete, but you and then gotta be like, dude, like honestly, it's an ethics thing. Like if the unified player is being a dick and not passing the ball and like just basically like kind of a pathetic asshole of like, oh, this is my time to shine. And we've had those guys and they've been taken care of and shut down. But like I remember we were playing the Florida team and that was the best unified team I've ever like
they were really good.
seen.
I mean, their athletes were better than unified players.
Yeah.
Like they were
And
really
then there was like something about like they were getting on that was the one game they were getting on unified players where I'm like, this is not the time to get on a unified player. Like they're not doing
they
anything
were
wrong.
doing fine. I felt bad because they only had like I think two. So like there was one dude that you could tell he was struggling. He was so
Yeah.
tired. Like and so,
Yeah,
but
and like so, and then I don't know. I think that was dumb. I think that was a little I questioned that call. But then the next game we played, we had guys on our team playing awesome. Like Corey and Paul were on fire.
yeah,
And then we were up so much. And then they had two unified guys who literally scored like 60% of the points.
maybe more.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then they just fed it to their post and he kept scoring. This dude was jacked. I remember I had to guard him. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because
Like,
like the
this dude
biggest
was
guy
like
had COVID and he couldn't come, so we would have had our biggest guy. He could have guarded
yeah.
him. So
But the fact that like that's why they won, it's like, come on. You know?
yeah, I mean the one thing though is like to put them up because I hit the three to put us up, and then we never
That
scored
was sick.
again. Yeah, that was crazy. But then an athlete came down and he had cerebral palsy like I did, but his hands
Oh
were
yeah.
inward, so he like granny shot at it.
That
Hit
was
a three,
intense. I
so it's
was
like
like,
at least it ended like that. Like at least an athlete like changed the rule,
yeah,
not like.
that's
But
true.
then like the unified player scored again, but like that shot was huge that he hit.
That was.
Fine. So, and I like question myself all the time. Like, I was on my guy, so like, get your guy, and I knew this guy was open. I was like, okay, someone's gonna go over and guard him because I thought everyone had their guy, but I was like, I should have just ran over there because I could have blocked it because it was a granny shot. But
Yeah.
I always have that regret. But I mean, yeah, it's just like like certain sports are easier to take over than others. Like football, you can't. It's easy to tell. Like if the unified player is playing quarterback and they're just throwing in another unified player. That usually doesn't happen because an
Yeah.
athlete's playing quarterback because everybody wants to play quarterback. And so, but an athlete can throw to a unified player all the time, which is not good either. But it's like, well, the athlete's throwing it to him. So like
Hmm.
you have to explain to the athlete, like wait for other guys. Like I'll do that too, and in crucial times, like I'll try to make sure an athlete scores a touchdown. But if we go for when we go for one or two, like probably over 50% of the time, I'm looking for a unified player just so we can. Because sometimes I think that's a huge deal not to get the 1 or 2 points.
Yeah.
Oh, but it doesn't really count in the stat book for going for one or two. It
Hmm.
counts. The touchdown counts. So I'll like have to hold on to the ball a little more, and hopefully I don't get sacked to wait for the athlete to get open. But it's like
Hmm.
I'm trying to. I mean, we're the ones that have to make the final play. But then also too, if you let's say you're throwing to an athlete all the way down the drive, like you hit 2 or 3 athletes on your drive down the field, and then a unified player scores. I think that's fine because you were throwing to athletes, they just couldn't score, and then
Yeah.
unified player for a touchdown. Like, and I've done it too. Like, we need to score on first, second down. You threw it and nothing happened, so you just tell a unified player like go deep. I'm gonna.
Hmm.
And so, but it's cool. Like when you have an athlete, like I had Matt Hoffman, one of probably the most athletic guy in Nebraska for the Special Olympic athletes. I had him on my team for my Wednesday night flag football league. So like I would hold on to him more and wait for him to like get open. There was one time he was double teamed. He was like running back and forth. And then finally he got open just a little bit and I threw it through his window and he caught it and it was a deep pass. I'm like, that was freaking awesome. He had to like lean to the left and he was like in between these two guys. It was because I had to throw it on the outside so it wouldn't get picked. So that was pretty. It's always cool when you have an athlete like that.
Yeah.
Go
I
to.
remember when I coached flag football was the most fun to coach because I gotta go out there and like show everybody the play and then pull you off and be like, all right, you're gonna fake this, then you're gonna do this and throw to this guy. And
Yeah.
sometimes you would hit guys like guy would be covered, but you would put it in a spot where only their hands could get it, but it would just hit their hands and fall. And I'd be just like, damn, he's like actually nailing these guys, but there's not catching the ball. Which is fine, you know.
And my problem
We're
is
not
still
dealing
like
with, it's just like for fun. But then we started putting in slants. It was
yeah,
crazy.
no,
Like,
that worked a lot. But my problem too is like, and you told me this about practice, you gotta know who you're throwing to. Some of them
yeah,
you
it's true.
really like throw it hard, and some of them was like you gotta put a little off it so they can catch it. So that would
Yeah.
look like kind of my fault because I would throw it too hard. Because like I'm the guy, like I can't catch very good, and someone's chucking it at me, it's hard to catch. And so
Mhm.
if you're not good at catching, so but yeah, the football is pretty fun. Like you said, I think football is now my second best sport, which is weird. I like really surprised myself a lot in football. But I think that's kind of cool too. Like when you don't put too much pressure on yourself, because wouldn't put too much pressure on myself with like football, because like I'm not very good at football like I am basketball and tennis, which I wasn't in high school. And so I just like didn't put that much pressure and I just went out and played and I got better and better. And I also
Mhm.
like during COVID, I learned how to read, like you kind of read a little film, not a lot, but enough to where it's like, okay, well, I know what a cover two looks like, cover one. Flag football doesn't really matter, but just like I know the basics. And so like they would have maybe one safety back, so that's like cover one, then cover two. Like, okay, I can hit this guy here in the middle, or if it's like cover one, I was like, oh, I could have this guy go over the top or whatever. And so, or just like learn different routes. I got to watch Detail on Hulu with Peyton Manning, and you
Yeah.
can like certain routes. Like, oh, that'd be really good in flag football. Just have this person do that. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, it's kind of like reading film. And I've also gotten strong. Like your lifting program for me, and just like even before that, when I was just lift. And I knew that by junior year of high school because we had a lifting class in high school, and that's when I really started to do begin football. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, we could talk about special Olympics probably all day because it's
Yeah.
sports. It's just and that's another thing. Last thing I want to say about special Olympics, it's just like any other sports program. Like, yes, we all we have disabilities, so maybe we're a little uncoordinated. I like to say we're all adults, which we are. The majority of us are adults, but we're stuck in like that uncoordinated middle school body for the rest of our life. So
Yeah.
uh yeah, would I mean if you come out to a special event, Like there's some pretty good athletes. It's pretty
They're a
crazy.
lot of fun. They're competitive. People think it's not
Yeah,
competitive. It's definitely
yeah, it's definitely
competitive.
competitive. It's also got that like chill vibe to it too. Like
Yeah.
not
Like
life or death
everybody's
if you,
pumped.
yeah, it's not life or death if you lose. People are still mad if they lose and happy if they win. But it's like we got next year, we got another sport coming. We'll focus on that too. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so Wes, how's the job hunt going? Your career goals, and what have you learned in the last week about yourself?
Well, still applying for some jobs, but working at Bold Barbecue in the kitchen and with events until find that one job where it's like, all right, this can be like the career kind of deal. Um, but then also just kind of really working on my app. So been working on getting some different training programs in there because the app's really cool because it's really easy for the user to follow along. Like you've used it. Um, but I'm making it look better. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, picture wise, more detail on some lifts, whatever. And then the one thing I really am working on a lot is recipes, which takes like the longest because I can put in any recipe through like the meal plans app, but I have to like get into a macro tracking app, track all the macros, and then get into my app and then put in the the portion sizes for the servings for the serving amount. So let's say you're gonna make like a breakfast burrito. I got to put down your grocery list, and then I got to put down the instructions of how to make that breakfast burrito, and then I got to put in the macros. There's like three sections I got to fill out in my app. So that way when you go pull it up, you have your grocery list for that recipe you want to do, for the correct amount of serving sizes, and I make everything 6 servings. So if somebody wanted to be really dialed in, they go Monday through Saturday and just eat the same thing, not have to worry about it, hit their macros, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then you can see the instructions on how to prep and cook the meal, and then you can see your macros, so you can adjust them and track them in the app. So it just makes life easy. And to be honest, I hate macro tracking. I don't think it's the healthiest way to see food. It's like if we see food as numbers, which I understand, like I see in my head because I deal with it a lot. If we see food as numbers, then we start to even see like ourselves as numbers. So, oh, I am this number on the scale. Like I am this number in the weight room. I am this number of how fast I'm running, or even sports, like if I win or lose. It's like, yo, food is food. Food is energy. And actually, macro labels are off 25%, give or take. So you could be eating 25% more calories or 25% less calories.
Oh wow.
Also, when you eat and how you eat depends. So if you are at work, at your computer eating, you probably won't absorb as much because you're not in a rest state. But if
Mhm.
you're like sitting at a table by yourself, just chilling for like 20 minutes for lunch, 30 minutes, then you'll probably absorb more food because you're gonna eat slower. So there's too many factors, or there's just a lot of factors in how you're gonna digest food. Um, and like, but with this app, like I wanna help people like cooking and make cooking easy.
Yeah, because like
Because
for me, I hate it. I hate
yeah,
it.
and a lot of times too, it's like so many ingredients. Look at a grocery list, and like, dude, that's too many ingredients. Like, I'm not gonna do that. So I
Yeah.
try to make all my recipes like minimal ingredients and just make it simple.
Mhm.
Um, I use the acronym KISS, but I kind of mix it up a little bit. I call it so KISS is keep it simple, stupid. But I just say keep it stupid simple. So it's like, oh, it's so simple. Like you feel a little stupid for not doing it. Like this is so
Yeah.
simple. Like why am I not doing it? Um, but yeah, no, I think cooking is a great way to relax. I guess my big vision is to help people get back to like home cooked meals. I think eating out is awesome. Like it's a great experience when you go to a cool restaurant and like get to experience that. Same time, I think we eat out too much. Like we just go for the quick fix, the microwave mentality. We want something fast, we want it now, we want something that tastes good now. But it's
Yeah.
like, hey, if you cook at home, like you can slow down, have conversation, talk with people at your house. Sometimes even just being in that space by yourself and helps you like meditate, like think about things, and
Yeah.
then you eat a good meal. So I guess long story short, I'm really focusing on building that. So when people join this September challenge, they can have access to all that. So I have access to all the recipes, and my goal every week is to add 3 new recipes. And a lot of times it's just like I add the recipes that I'm working on for my current clients. And then, yeah, basically and making this app affordable. Like it's 30 bucks. It'll be 30 bucks a month, so $1 a day. Because like I'm just gonna be real. Like hiring a personal trainer, hiring a nutrition coach is kind of like it's like a luxury item. Like not everybody's gonna do it. Like
Yeah.
I think everybody, it's like a therapist or a sports coach if you want to actually be good. Like if you want to elevate your game, like you should invest in a coach, whatever you're trying to elevate in. Like even you could say like a financial advisor would be a coach if you're trying to get better with your money or just
Yeah.
whatever you want to say it. But a lot of people are they're not, that's like a huge step, you know, could be a huge step financially, could be just a huge step mentally, physically. So this app will help with that little tiny step. So it's like, hey, do this app a little bit, I'll like I can see when people aren't doing their shit. So I can be like, hey man, hey, how's this? You can always tell when I know you're not doing your stuff. I text you like, hey, how's this habit going? It's like I've looked, I know you're not doing the habit. This is me nicely,
Yeah.
like calling you out. So
Yeah.
um like I've done that to you, and you're like, yeah, I've sucked at it. I'll get back on it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just like habits.
I haven't done it in like maybe a week or two. I'll get
Yeah.
back. And I do it for like a month and a half. So
Yeah. And then I just like text you like, all right, like, what's the like, why aren't we doing this? Like, and then there's a lot of research behind how to make habits and how to break them down smaller and stuff like that. I've probably read almost every habit book. But yeah, anyway, like this app will be people's first steps. It's like, hey, you know what, do this app. And then hopefully I help people go join that group fitness class or go get a personal trainer, go get a nutrition coach that's more detailed in their field. So it could be, you know, like maybe somebody maybe wants to get a little healthier and then get a fertility coach. Somebody wants to get a little healthier and then maybe start learning tennis. So they get a tennis coach. Somebody wants to get a little healthier and go join this CrossFit class. It's like whatever. It's like there's this huge gray area of like not doing shit and then like actually doing
yeah.
shit and investing.
Right.
So yeah, I'm like that little baby step to get you there.
Yeah. For sure. Like everyone wants to say they want to be healthy, but it takes way more time. If you don't have the money, then it's like when then I have to hold myself accountable, which can be very hard. You have to have
Mhm.
like I was gonna say you have to have like a certain kind of mindset to do that. Because
Yeah.
like life just gets in the way.
Hmm.
And I mean, you can use it as an excuse, or the people that don't use it as an excuse usually can, push themselves to be more healthier. But it is helpful to have like a coach, does your job, like you said, and then like you can help them out or give them reminders. And it's also nice like to have someone to talk to, too. It's like, oh, I guess because you could like try to find stuff out like why something's not working for them, or maybe why they're not doing a specific task. And you're like, oh, I never thought about that, when you
Yeah.
when you talk to them. But yeah, I think it's cool that you're trying to do it because you did one when you started. You did one like a competition thing that you were
Yeah, I
doing.
did like a challenge. I
Yeah,
guess this is like I don't like challenges because people fall off very
right,
easily. Like
right.
I've talked to some people who have done the challenge and those habits have fallen. But I did one challenge at MBS that went really well. And it was like an 8 week challenge.
Mhm.
And I did this with Nicole Staff, and she was awesome because we both did precision nutrition.
Mhm.
And that's like, hey, there's like a huge mental side to the nutrition. So it's like we know what to eat, you know how to work out. Like everybody, like the internet's free. You can look up anything,
Right.
but it's like, why don't you do what you know you're supposed to do? Like that's the main thing. Like, why don't you just do it? And a lot of times, like how you see yourself, it's a
Mhm.
lot of self-awareness. It's a lot of like kind of like digging deeper of like, hey, why do I do this when I feel like this? Why? And then, or we just do things on autopilot. Like I find myself too, like, if I haven't ate all day or stressed or something, like I'll just go grab some junk food. And I'm like, why am I doing this? It's like, oh, because I want a hit. I want like
Yeah.
that instant dopamine hit. So it's like, all right, there's just some practices like be more self-aware and
Uh,
just like have a goal. And honestly, just like we talked about, it's kind of like we talked about figure out your shit like last episode. It's like just do your shit. Like
yeah,
just do your
sure.
job.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Well, I think that's a good place to end this episode. Follow us on our Instagram account, Spalding Brothers Show. Then we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, my YouTube channel, Life with Wyatt Spalding. So listen to us, watch our video, whatever you want to do, and we'll get we'll have an episode next week on what we're up to or anything's improved, declined, whatever happens in a week. So thanks for listening to the Spalding Brothers Show, and we'll see you later. See
See
ya.
ya.